Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another reverse 1999 video. It's been a while. Alright, so we have the Shaman that came recently in the new second part of version 1.3. He is available in the banner, appeared about 2 days ago, right? So we also have Balloon Party and Satsuki alongside with that for this particular banner. Now, plenty of you guys have asked me, should you pull for Shaman or whatsoever? I pretty much made it clear that I think he is one of the strongest character in the game actually. If you can afford it, of course he's going to be very good. Now, as you can see portrayed by the Pre-1 tier list right here. So Shaman is on par with quite a number of other, just the S tier characters overall, if you're looking at the buffer and stuff. However, it's less about him, but more about the version 1.4 coming later, because 6 is also going to be a very strong and prominent character moving into the version 1.4, which is something that you want to keep in mind. That's going to be my personal target, my personal character that I want to pull for. So before we get started with today though, there's plenty of coupon codes. I hope you guys are aware. We're getting literally about 700 free crystals in total. Let's go in settings, users and exchange code reward. So these are the codes so far available. I have all of it pinned in the comment section. Hopefully if I don't, please remind me in the comment section as well. So this one I believe everybody already has, and then we have one just called Shaman. All right, and this will give you 30 clear drops. All right, plenty of clear drops. If you guys haven't used DipaFestival as well, I believe, I haven't used that, 30 clear drops, and then the 6 million. Alright, just literally just type 6 million, boom, this will give you 200 clear drops, and the last one is going to be StarLight, which I have not used. So yeah, as you can see, for me, I haven't used 4 out of these 5 codes, but if you guys, I believe that was a version 1.1 code, or that's a permanent code. But these are the coupon codes again. Feel free to use it, and then if you log in today, you also get a bunch of coupon codes, a bunch of clear drops, because I believe a bunch of characters just literally just gave you 500, right? And you can see right from Z and stuff, because of, I believe, the Lunar New Year. So yeah, make sure you guys claim every single thing. Plenty of free stuff moving forward. Now, alongside with that, we also are at the second half of the version 1.3. So make sure you guys empty out the shop if you guys haven't already for this particular version 1.3 shop, right? As you can see, I purchased everything right here. Still working on the Araga Palace, Dust and Chaperodonti. I think these are the very important ones. And for the rest, just get what you need. If you need a Trembling Tooth, Magnesia Crystal, or Shattered Bones, ideally, that's going to be the one that you're going to go for. Personally, I think the event is pretty cool. There's still plenty of days left for those two. And then the first epic, this is going to feature the version 1.3 Utu. I'm still currently at stage 20. Still trying to, for now, just take my time and slowly farm for all the remaining stuff. Get all of these. Is that new? Ooh, increased critical rate of all allies and critical damage as well. That is pretty good. Oh, I even get a selector. This one seems really good. When triggering the realm, damage bonus increase 60%, and I think that's going to be something that you will be able to take advantage of a lot. So hopefully I'll try to push to Utu number 30, but make sure you guys are aware that you also get this free costume right now, the Adventure on the Mountains. That's going to be a free costume for none other than Leilani. Alright, as you can see, very cool. I do like this particular one. Okay, so I am still using her actually, even in some of the Utu stages or in Limbo. She's still one of the better beast type characters for 3 stars, so definitely consider building her if you guys haven't already. But yeah, plenty of these things are available here if you guys are looking to get anything to be able to push some of your characters, especially for the Beast Tome. Now let's talk about Shaman. Again, I just want to give you guys a recap because a lot of you guys have asked me if he's worth pulling for, right? Now, Shaman is a strong beast type supporter, so if you guys are looking for that, sure, he's going to be a good pull. Now, if you can allow yourself, or if you can afford to go for multiple copies, portrays even, that's where this guy becomes the beast completely. He will be a damage dealer from that point onwards. So if you guys are not aware, he is a mass attack on the ultimate skill. He will be able to do relative damage to all enemies, but this particular ultimate will be able to have the crit rate increased by 20%. And for him, it's going to be very good because any excess critical rate that you have will be converted to critical damage. And of course, he also deals additional damage to the main target. So overall, a very good ultimate, and this is going to be the main source of damage if you are trying to, like, you know, use him to do damage in a way. The other two, as for the other two skills, like, it's nothing special, right? He's going to be able to do damage and then can apply 1 stack of Nature's Blessing for 2-star and 3-star onwards. So Nature Blessing, that means if you spend 5 stacks of this, you will gain some additional Moxie along the way. And then for the debuff, he can do something unique, alright? So increase damage taken by 10% or 20 or 30% at level 3. And then of course reduce reality and mental defense for the enemies, which is a pretty cool debuff. Alright, he's able to reduce both reality and mental defense. Now first things first, stats down. Alright, so every stats down that he's able to stack, he will be able to get damage deal plus 8%, and this can stack up to 3 times 24%, which is pretty high. Alright, so when the caster enters battle, gains 2 stacks of Nature's Blessing. Now let's talk about the portrait. So this is where it gets super interesting. So Shaman is a character that is very, I wouldn't say he's dupe reliant, but I would just say that his dupe pretty much transforms him from a supporter to a damage dealer, especially at Portrait 2 or even Portrait 5 if you can afford to go for it. So remember in the previous conversation we had about the ultimate, it basically just increased critical rate by 20%. So that will pretty much change at Portrait 2 because that allows him to go all the way to 60%. So he gains 40% more crit rate pretty much. And you might think, okay, it's just 40% more crit rate, big deal. It is not that big of a deal if it's just a critical rate, but any excess critical rate will be converted to the critical damage. Therefore, it's going to be an insanely big deal for his particular case, right? And this will be an even bigger deal moving forward into Portrait 5. Alright, you can see effect changes to critical rate of, you know, from 20% at Portrait 2 to 60% at Portrait 2, right? And then at Portrait 5 to 100%. So that's a lot of damage. So anything that you gain additionally from the, let's say, side cube or even from the resonance, those will be converted to critical damage straight up. And you know, Carrot of the Heart is going to be a decent one for Shaman as well. The side cube that you obtained previously. So if you are looking to build him, that's going to be the one to go for. It is pretty much in a way built for him, because when the round ends, if the carrier gains at least 3 Moxie in the round, alright, so when casting the next ultimate might plus 8%. And this is going to be extremely good for someone like him, where his main source of damage is going to be reliant on the ultimate altogether, right? This is where it's going to do, like, it's an AoE and it just does straight more to the main target. Now, no matter how strong Shaman is, I do think that personally, for me, going for 6 makes more sense. And 6 is going to be a version 1.4 character. Alright, so that's going to be something to consider. Right now, I do think that 6 is going to be probably one of the better supports for a lot of players. Now, he is going to be much more complicated, but he does have buffs that no other supports in the game will be able to provide. So let's talk a little bit about him, just a brief one. I'll definitely make a separate video going through in depth or more in detail for why 6 is going to be insanely strong. But you can see in his ultimate skill is a 1 target attack, and he's going to deal mental damage. And already I prefer having mental damage characters because I think that's what most people lack for their roster rather than reality damage. Eureka is going to be the concept of 6. If you have 6 or more stacks, consume 6 stacks and increase the attack's damage by 75% for every stats down negative status or control status on the target, and this can stack up to 4 times. Again, that's a lot of damage, 75% times 4. Now first up, really similar, Shaman and 6. They have very strong ultimate, you know, skill overall, but for 6 you can see he's much more focused on 1 target attack. Now as for the debuff, again, both are kind of similar actually, right? So where they both have 1 debuff skill. So for Shaman 1 is pretty straightforward, damage taken increase, and also reality and mental defense decrease. But for 6, he can do this very unique thing where he applies mental damage to 2 enemies, and then he randomly inflicts 2 effects from collection of debuffs for 2 rounds. If Eureka is at 4 stacks or less, then increase it by 1. That means you get to inflicts 3 effects of collection of debuffs. You can't really choose his debuff, which is a little bit interesting, right? It's a gamble between all of these, and you can see what is collection of debuffs. So one of it is crit defense minus 30%, one of it is relative defense minus 20%, mental defense minus 20%, blind, disorient, laceration 1, which basically prioritizes debuffs the carrier doesn't already have. And these are the things that he will be able to do. Now the last one is going to be a buff. This is going to be pretty interesting. A one target buff where it purifies 2 random stats down negative setters or control. Randomly applies 2 effects from collection of buffs for 2 rounds. Alright, so if Eureka is at 5 or more stacks, consumes 5 stacks and applies incantation improvement 1. So you can see he does provide a lot of very unique buffs. Alright, so for example, penetration rate, incantation might. These are things that are not really you see often in a lot of buffers, right? And also, I guess mental defense, relative defense is something that you see very often. But the rest of these are pretty cool, alright? One of the few better characters to basically try to pull. Again, no idea if it's coming next or not, because they did switch out the order for the global server for version 1.3. So there's a chance that 1.4, he could be next. He could literally be next. So I didn't want to gamble it, which is why personally I did not pull for Shaman. Alright. But if you guys, you're looking for a good support, I don't think you will go wrong with either. Personally, I'll prefer to go for 6, but that's going to be something that, we have to wait. For now, we still have approximately about, I would say, 18 days left. Alright, so that's pretty soon. I'm going to say end of this month, we will be able to see if 6 is going to be, the character to be announced next. But yeah, with that being said, that is pretty much it for the current patch of Reverse 1939. Make sure you guys use all the codes in the comment section. Alright, there's plenty of codes. Log in right now. There's plenty of gifts going on. If you guys are looking to pull or save. I'm gonna go do my Utu, hopefully push up to floor to stage 30 by the end of this week. As always, if you guys haven't already subscribed, give this video a like. Have a nice day. Goodbye.